Thanks, Pickle.
É tão bom, eu não quero nunca mais que para. Eu quero. Quando eu chego, essa luz vermelha é tão boa.
Congrats on partnership. It's been a great journey.
Thank you, Jao. I appreciate you.
Ele é tão sexy. Eu quero tão beijar a boca
Let's
dele.
go. Infra 8 SUNGORILLA. Infra 8 SUNGORILLA. Infra 8
Adam,
SUNGORILLA.
Elias, thank you so much. Thank you, Dirtcher. Appreciate you, man.
by
help
Fast.
me, I'm out of plan.
Thank you, Drama.
Guess I left my world in somebody's hand. I don't like to hurt much, but everyone gets weak. Someone to rely on, it's what I really need. Now here we stand, with all that we're worth. I've been through the pain and been dragged through the dirt. Whatever they tell you, we're bigger than words. I've been where you're standing, I know how it hurts. Let this be a song now, and this be your day. If we stand together, then we'll be okay. 'Cause we're survivors, we're making it work. Expecting the best when they hope for the worst. This is the way we found. Even though they'll let you down, no, nobody's perfect now. Don't let them hold you down. Let's stick together now. We got to stand our ground. It's easy to believe in one love, believe in you and me. One love. Now I could try and fix this all by myself.
Anonymous, thank you so much. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much, Anonymous.
Now better if you help. No one likes to hurt much, but everyone gets weak. Someone to rely on, it's what everybody needs. Now here we stand, with all that we're worth. I've been through the pain and been dragged through the dirt. Wherever they tell you, we're bigger than words. I've been where you're standing, I know how it hurts. Let this be your song now, and this be your day. If we stand together, then we'll be okay. 'Cause we're survivors, we're making it work. Expecting the best when they hope for the worst. This is the way we found. Even though they'll let you down, no, nobody's perfect now. Don't let them hold you down. Let's stick together now. We got to stand our ground. It's easy to believe in one love, believe in you and me. One love is one love. O-N-E-L-O-V.
Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you both. Appreciate you guys.
Me born in me raised in the New York City, in a dance hall and a dance hall on the dance floor. Me do a rum dance man, ragaman, yes, it's a ragaman jam. People drinking champagne, come full of passion, pump it up, start to swing your body while you listen to the music, jump up and party. Ragga with me and get ready to dance, man. Boom shakalak, girl, you open your mind. I'm a white ragga man, baby. mine, I'm your getaway.
Tuna Tickler, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 10. Appreciate you so much.
Hardcore vibes, that I run things. Hey, yeah. Hardcore vibes, that I run things. Hey, yeah.
This one is dedicated to all the ravers in the nation.
Hardcore vibes, hardcore vibes, hardcore vibes, that I run things. Hardcore vibes, that I run things. Hey, yeah. Hardcore vibes that are on 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 things. Hey, yeah.
To all the ravers in the nation. To all the ravers in the nation. To all the ravers in to all the ravers in to all the ravers in the nation. I can't stop raving. I can't stop raving.
I believe it will be ours.
I can't stop raving.
I believe it will be ours. Again. The Communist Party will be ours again. And it's not personal. It's really not personal. To the Central Committee of the Communist Party, it ain't personal. We're racing against time, and you happen to be in the way. It is absolutely nothing personal about it. There's no time to explain. There's absolutely no time to explain. But I've been thinking recently, and I don't know if these thoughts are the type of thoughts I should squash in their infancy, or I should contemplate a little more. Am I too hard on leftists? Should I show them more forgiveness? Should I show them more patience? Do they have any hope? Is there any hope that they could be changed? That they could be saved? A lot of you think that I'm a right-winger. I'm not a right-winger. Because, and this is as far as I see it, my biggest critique of right-wingers is that I think they're trying to resist or stop the flow of time. There's just this material flow of time. They just seem like they're resisting and they're trying to stop and trying to shelter themselves from. I'm not talking about the progressive agenda, I'm just talking about in general. And it leads to a position of vanity, right? And psychosis and insulation from the world, where you can't see that there's hope in this world. That's just how I view it. Part of me thinks that these leftists have to be saved. I have to believe they can be saved. Or I'm giving up. Or maybe they can't be saved. Or maybe it's none of my business or whether they're going to be saved or not. And maybe I should just focus on believing in the people and believing in people. And whether leftists want to hop on board, I'm indifferent. But I do believe our people are out there. I do believe the people who are waiting for something new are out there. The people who are being dismissed are out there. That's what I fundamentally believe. If you want to debate me, get in the Discord. And it better be a hostile debate, not a discussion. I will debate anyone. I will debate anyone. I don't know why people think I'm not gonna debate people. I'll debate anyone. You just have to get in the come on show request to say, hey, debate me. I'll debate literally anyone. There's no one I've ever refused to debate. We used to have a protocol because there was a lot of people who wanted to debate me. But now that everyone's too scared to debate me, I pretty much will take any challenger. Okay, I'll debate you after I cover Hassan's video, which I think was addressed in part to me, as far as I can see. The thing I don't like about the right wing, I don't like the chicken tendies and the chalky milk. I don't like the comfy feeling they have. I don't want to give you a comfy feeling. I don't want to give you a wholesome feeling. I'm not going to protect you and be your friend and protect you from the evil of this world, because I can't. I want you to be able to persevere through it. There's no way to cope. There's no way out of it, you know? I'm not going to be the only source of reality for you. Yeah, a lot of these lefty people are against me, but you know, there's still a whole wide world out there that doesn't care. Thank you, Patriot. Thank you, Patriot. This world is ugly, and it's open-ended. This world is like a bleeding wound. Thank you, Zenzu. Appreciate you.
Get ITTT.
Make no mistake, I will destroy my enemies. I will destroy my enemies, but I'm not going to be bitter about it. I'm going to do it and move on. Nothing personal. I'm not a force of hate. I'm not a force of bitterness. And I'm not a source of resentment. I'll never be one either. That's how things stand. Sorry I was late. I know I promised you I was gonna be early, but you know, I woke up late. Went to the gym, and you know, I was really spending a lot of time contemplating and meditating and thinking about a lot of things, you know, of that nature. You know, I was just thinking a lot, you know. Anyway, in contrast to what he says, I was shown this video a few days ago. Hassan thinks that I'm leeching off of him to grow, right? And that's like, I'm just hating on Hassan as my career, which is not true. I'm gonna address it in the video, but you know, if you are the biggest, one of the biggest streamers on the platform, also the biggest political streamer. So when you're calling me out and talking shit about me, yeah, I'm gonna fucking address it, you know? And I covered your tweet, Hassan, against Jackson, because Jackson's part of my circle, right? And, you know, he's my ally. So you're the one who covered him. I had nothing to cover from you otherwise. I already reacted to your dumbass takes before. Also, when your coverage of the general strikes and shit, that's on you, dude. You can't just come at my people in my tribe as the biggest political streamer on Twitch and not expect a response. But the idea that I've built my whole brand and my whole career off of talking about you and, you know, throwing shade your way is just a fucking lie. That's not true. That's just not true. You know? We're gonna address it in the video, but, you know, it's... Thank you, Morlock. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Morlock. A lot of these big streamers, I think Destiny was the same thing. A lot of these big streamers are like, oh, why are you talking about me, Haz? What do you mean, why am I talking about you? Because, like, Destiny, when I was fucking talking about our debate that I literally had, like, 2 days ago, at the time, he was like, oh, I watched your stream because you can't stop talking about me. Like, dude, I debated you 2 days before, and it was a big source of attention and, like, signaling that's coming my way. Like, what do you fucking think? You know? What do you think? You don't flatter yourself too much. You're really not that good of a streamer, entertaining of a streamer. It's just that you do concentrate a lot of attention on you because you've been here for like 20 years or whatever. Yeah, it's a Burberry jacket. We need a W against Hassan. All we need to do is keep growing, and then the W will come on its own. If that boring fucking guy, Mike from PA, who's the most boring, uncharismatic fuck I've ever seen on Twitch, can make a career for himself on this website, then you bet your fucking ass me and Jackson are gonna have a breeze doing the same thing. And I'm being honest when I say that. I'm being as honest as I can. That guy is fucking boring. The guy's name is Arab Disliker. And his account was created 10 days ago. 5. He wants to focus on YouTube and doesn't want since he won't be able to dual stream. What are you talking about? What is that in reference to? I don't know who Hunter Avalon is. Who the fuck is Hunter Avalon? Sounds familiar. Hunter Avalon. He follows me. What's the point? I heard Destiny debated like a white supremacist and he lost. That's what I was told. It's like his own Reddit was saying he lost. I didn't watch the debate. Maybe we'll check it out. He debated like a white supremacist and his own Reddit said he lost. Which is crazy because I never thought his Reddit would ever admit he lost anything. So I want to see that debate and see if he did lose. And I'll go to my judgment because I don't know how much I trust this Reddit's judgment. To be fair, a lot of people in Destiny's Reddit are former, and I'm not just saying this to dunk on Destiny, it's just a fact, are former like alt-righters or whatever. So they probably hold him to a higher standard when it comes to those debates. Thing is, we do not have... Every leftist influencer pulls right-wingers, right? Destiny pulls the alt-right white nationalist types from Silicon Valley, right? I pull, and I don't even necessarily convert them, they just watch me, the conservative traditionalist religious types, right? That's where my... White nationalists don't watch me. They don't like me, you know? They don't have anything to do with me, right? I have Catholic traditionalists, Orthodox people. I have Orthodox Jews that watch me. There's one of them's a celebrity in our Discord. I have Muslims. I have Hindus. Pretty sure I have Hindus too. We have some Hindu conservatives as well. You have Wignets who watch you, they don't like you, but they don't hate you. Interesting. I might say Jax wants to focus more on his YouTube than Twitch. Yeah, that's what works for him. To me, orthodoxy is the religion of apocalypse. Orthodoxy is the religion of surviving an apocalypse, or facing an apocalypse, or dealing with the trauma of an apocalypse. That's what orthodoxy is to me. It's about dealing with the trauma of your world ending and shattering. And to me, when I'm not saying this to be funny, when I feel the most spiritually orthodox is when I sober up after a night of drinking. I'm not even lying. When I feel the most connected to the Orthodox religion is when I sober up after a night of drinking. That's when it just makes the most sense to me. Make of that what you will. I thought you didn't drink. I usually don't. And I think I learned my lesson, actually. I think maybe the reason I was on Twitter so much, maybe it's because I did drink in Austin, and it just kind of made me lose touch, or made me lose my senses, right? But I don't know. I think I regret being on Twitter so much these past few weeks. It's just a mistake. I don't know. Is it because you feel the guilt the day after? Kind of. it's not just guilt. It's just like just the feeling of reacquiring and coming back to your sober senses. It's such an oceanic feeling to me, you know? It's such a kind of spiritual feeling. And you drink again so you remind yourself how it feels like to sober up. The beard under control. I'm actually gonna go trim it tomorrow. I'm gonna go to a barber shop and trim my beard tomorrow. I'm gonna just tell the guy, hey, can you make my beard how it was 1 month ago? Or not 1 month, I'll be like, hey, can you make my beard how it was 2 months ago? And just reset it. It's too big right now, you know, and it's... I don't want to grow a quartering beard. No offense, no offense to the guy, but I don't want to grow that type of beard. I don't want... that's what I always fear. That's what I always have anxiety about when I'm growing a beard. Is like, is this becoming a quartering beard? And I don't want that type of beard on me. And also, it's kind of becoming irritating, you know, to itchy and just hard to eat stuff. Making life harder, right? So I just want to like be like, trim it to how it was 2 months ago, and then if I go on vacation next week, you know, I'll be good. Morlock, you gotta chill, dude. You're a mod. When we saying that shit. To be clear, I've always said this. I don't have personal beef with Hassan. It's not personal because his political alignment is because of his family background. Imagine if you had an uncle. Are you gonna go against your family? No, you can't. You know, it's not personal. You know, I'm not saying he's personally in the wrong. At least in this case, he's done questionable things, but I said that from the beginning that it's not personal. It's really not. I want us to start cultivating a culture of, maybe we shouldn't because we'll become weak if we do, but we should, every time I always saw anyone getting canceled on the internet or attacked on the internet, I always thought this is false. This is falsehood. The internet needs to stop being so personal. It needs to stop being so personal because the internet doesn't tend to our real human needs as personal individuals. It doesn't tend to that aspect of ourselves. So it shouldn't be so personal, you know? It shouldn't be so visceral and personal. At the end of the day, we're all gonna go backstage. We all go backstage at the end of the day. What is that painting I think it's Diego Rivera's the painting. What's the painting? No, it's a different one where it's like you see a bunch of political enemies just sitting in a bar together, or they're probably at a party together, and they're all just at their own tables and they're mingling, and it's just this ironic atmosphere where it's like these actual political enemies are in the same room together because it's not personal, right? The real fact that they're enemies is still there. I think it was where I'm thinking of the Diego Rivera painting where you have Lenin, Trotsky, and then you have the capitalists on the other side or whatever. But it's not personal. You know, at the end of the day, backstage is a different story. You know, we're not in control of this thing that we're part of, right? It's like, it's a game, and then you go backstage and hey, it's nothing personal, you know? It's not personal they purge or persecute each other. Nope, it's not. It is not. Absolutely not. Nothing is personal. Let's watch this. Okay, I'm gonna address this. Alright. So Jackson sent me this. Alright. Alright. So the context of this, I'm pretty sure, is the two things. Is the strikes, the general strike stuff coming from the Jimmy Dore Twitter, and Jackson's tweet about service. Sorry, not service, about like the professional managerial class. So let's watch.
3 months in, can't wait.
Okay, I'm gonna higher the volume.
Even Instagram lefties are turning on you. Who now? Who? I'm gonna fucking kill myself in a video game, dude, okay? I'm sick and tired of this shit. I don't even want you to fucking tell me anymore, okay? I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear every fucking deranged person on the internet literally being like, I'm a lefty. I used to watch Hassan, but I think he's a fucking, he's a betrayer of class consciousness. He's a fucking enemy of the working class, okay?
The reason I think this is directed at me is because my stream title was Hassan is the enemy of the working class on that day. So that's why
especially considering the fact that it clearly has staying power, and some of these fucking idiots that used to be in here literally turn around and go, oh my god, maybe Hassan is fucking fake. Is that what you want me to do? You want me to fucking kill myself? Because that's what's gonna happen in a video game. I'm going to kill myself in a video game if this continues. Shut the fuck up about every Tom, Dick, and fucking Harry that used to be a community member in here who now literally exclusively sits around and farms fucking engagement by being like, Hassan fucking sucks. Hassan sucks dick. There's a literal pipeline. Every fucking website I go to, there is like so many deranged, brain-diseased dipshits that are literally trying to make a career out of fucking engagement farming. I cannot even fucking avoid it. Shut the fuck up about it, okay? I should have never, ever in a million years decided to give a crumb of attention to these fucking insane people, okay? They are insane, and it's making me lose my fucking mind.
All right, so I don't know why I say this because I always get fucked over for it. You know, people take it as weakness or whatever, but I have a little bit of sympathy. I have a little bit of sympathy as a streamer to streamer. And let me tell you why I have a little bit of sympathy is because, you know, I dealt with this very, very early on, right? So I feel bad for him because he has never actually gone through this problem, it seems like. I dealt with it very, very early on. I made a huge thing about it, and I sorted through it like when I was at like 20 viewers, right? And even before then, I have a lot of experience on the internet. So, yeah, Trister, that's what I'm going to get to, right? That's what I'm going to get to. Trust me, I'm going to get to that stuff too. So, first, you know, I said before, I don't think the internet should be this personal. It's not personal, but this is about politics, is ultimately what it's about. My advice to Hassan, I guess, would be that you are the biggest political streamer on Twitch. You know, I know it's hard not to take it personally. And because you can't really disentangle the celebrity from the person, I get that, but I doubt most of it is personal. I doubt it's mostly personal. I think it's not really you so much as it is the fact that people are trying to tap into like, hey, you guys think Hassan's the only type of leftist? Because a lot of people just go from being normies or apolitical to watching Hassan. They go, hey, that Hassan's not the only type, and here's an alternative, right? So people probably need to critique you in order to distinguish themselves from you, right? Because you have set the precedent for what a lefty on Twitch is. So if people want to, you know, distinguish themselves from the mainstream lefty, they're probably going to use you as an example of that. You know, here's the thing, right? I haven't really gotten too deep into like my mental issues before on stream or whatever before. I haven't. But there was a time, and it was when I was talking about like how I was upset by the hate comments I was getting on the Royale, that I didn't even allude to anything this visceral. I was just pretty much like, you know, going through, and I was talking about my life, and I was opening up a little bit, right? Just a little tiny bit. And I had streamers, well-respected streamers, I mean, everybody coming after me and, like, exploiting it, pretty much. Being like, haha, what a pussy, haha, like, you know, just, digging it deeper, just politicizing it and just making it... I was just being a human being, opening up a little bit about how streaming has been taking a toll on my mental health. Just a little bit. And, you know, a few people did, you know, DM me with sympathy, but the overwhelming majority response, especially from political Twitch, was extremely dehumanizing. And it just, I was so dehumanized because of that. So that's why it's also hard for me to sympathize with Hassan here, because it's like, dude, I went through way, way worse. You know, like, the amount of hate and threats and shit that I got just starting on YouTube. It's like, the reason it upsets me a little bit is because the thing with you, Hassan, is that you don't have the majority against you. Collectively, the people that you're talking about are not that significant. Farrell, can you shut up for a sec? Like, I don't need to read your fucking paragraph. Okay? As a matter of fact, if you have something to fucking say, why don't you just get in VC? I'm not going to read your fucking essay on why you disagree with Jackson. You're just draining my fucking energy and wasting my fucking time. You're just using this as an opportunity to write a fucking paragraph about theory? Shut the fuck up, dude. Anyway. And you've only been here for a month, dude, so you don't get privileges like that where you just get to fucking randomly bomb me with a fucking essay about shit and expect me to address it. But anyway, here's the thing. Is that it's hard for I am a little bit resentful when I hear this shit, because like, for you to be a streamer this big where you just, people are overwhelmingly on your side, and your chat is spamming hearts, and you have like what, 30,000 viewers of people who just really support you, and you're talking about just people who don't even matter. Imagine me, where I do have the majority of the left, or whatever you want to call it, really going hard at me, just at the level of dehumanization. Thank you,
Howdy,
Red Rico.
partner.
Like, I never expect it, and I don't complain that I don't have it, but there are no people. I don't have these lefties who show me sympathy and, oh, you know, Haz, hope you're doing well, take care. They don't give a fuck, dude. No, you know what I mean? Like, there's absolutely none of that. I don't get a fraction of the love that you do from your community and your people. And also, that's fine. I'm not the type of person who sets myself up to want that. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you. But it's so hard for me to sympathize. But also, I kind of do sympathize, but it's also like, I don't know. I just feel like there's hypocrisy somehow, right? Especially when you're taking into consideration that I don't know who the fuck he's talking about. But as far as me and Jackson are concerned, like, you don't have a right just to not be critiqued on your politics, on your positions and shit, you know? Like, you don't have a right to, like, expect to not ever be challenged by other leftists or whatever, right? But here's the kicker, and maybe I'll save it for as we continue watching the video, but there is one thing that makes it really hard for me to sympathize with him here. And that is when he says extremely heartless things on stream, like, you know, he's glad that people who didn't get the vaccine end up dying or whatever, and that he's glad and he doesn't care about them, and he's calling people hogs and using this dehumanizing language. That's where I'm like, dude, you know, I don't know why you're making yourself a victim. You're talking about people who are dying, people who have families, and it's not just that they're dying, they have family members that are losing a loved one. And you're really it's like, where's your compassion for those people? You know what I mean? Like, you make it very personal. I don't know.
Okay, I hate this, and I hate when you show me this shit. Stop showing me this shit! Fuck! $18-month subscriber, dude. Are you
Just
fucking
because you are
serious?
built like the Twin Towers doesn't mean you should let it all fall down on the court.
Dude, I think you need to get used to the fact that you are not the monopoly of what a left, or just you don't have a monopoly on these ideas that you're trying to. I mean, you have a Soviet flag in your background. I know you've gotten very big on Twitch and successful, but as somebody who's been in this sphere for 10 years, I don't know why you think like you're not going to be challenged or critiqued, or you're not going to have to face those obstacles, because, you know what I mean? You're very new to this space. You're older than me, but you're very new to this so-called leftism stuff. You've been here since what, 2018? And you've learned along the way. I've been here for 10 years. I started as a freshman in high school, and then I became part of a leftist discourse online in high school, right? I dealt with all those anarchy, every single faction, every Bordiga, the left comps, every single thing that, you know, I been there, done that, all of them, you know?
Basketball skills are
I love when the right wing hates me, okay? It's awesome.
And you are golden.
Thank you, Patriot. When you sign up for CBUSA, what did you tell them on the app when they said, why are you joining? I did not sign up for CBUSA. I tell my followers to join the CBUSA. I personally will not be joining them. I don't want to give them, like, control over my streams. I don't think they know what's in their best interests.
It's great. I don't give a shit. Fuck them. It's dope, okay? Even though they want to fucking murder me, it's still dope. I cannot do this when every fucking idiotic, I'm going to be the new fucking Hasanabi, like, leftist commentator dipshit is trying to market themselves as a person who is more leftist than me. You are not, okay? You are not doing anything. You are literally hate farming and trying to cultivate a community off of that. I'm telling you, as someone who is very successful in this space, you cannot do this. That does not have longevity for you, okay? Your Patreon will only pop off for 3.5 days, but then that's it.
Who is he talking about? Because I don't know of any political streamers on Twitch who even, besides the Destiny Orbiters or whatever, I don't know anyone else who critiques Hassan or makes a career off of hating Hassan. So who is he talking about? I think he's trying to talk about me. But if he's talking about me, it's like, dude, you're the biggest political streamer on Twitch. When you say things that I consider relevant, I'm going to cover it. Especially when it, like, I literally have something to do with it. Like, case in point, this one, or the Jackson tweet, or the general strike stuff, right? Like, that's how we're distinguishing ourselves. We don't have a fucking monopoly on this shit. And he's talking about Twitter people. Well, I don't know. I think he's talking about streaming right now, right? But, you know, it's not about who's more leftist. You haven't dealt with the issue of ultra leftism, right? Which is ironic. And I'm gonna tell you why this is a fucking irony, dude. You don't know how to deal with ultra leftism. It's a time-old issue. It's like it's always been a thing in the left. The left hasn't been that popular, but from every decade that has passed, it's been a thing. It's always been a thing, right? But curiously, you use those same, like, leftier than thou, I'm more pure than you bullshit against me. Your sphere does that to me, right? You do it to Jackson as well. You play that same bullshit, dude. So don't be out here complaining when what is the chickens come home to roost. And what is the word? What's the word they have for this? Where it's like the revolution eats its own children, or the children. What does it fucking say? What is this saying? This is what you created, dude. You don't have this fundamental critique of American leftism like we do, right? You're still riding off of this fundamentally corrupt and obsolete pathology of progressive leftism, right? And you have no critical stance toward it whatsoever. You have no dialectic understanding of it whatsoever. You just want to pick and choose when you want to be a leftist or a pure leftist, right? I think that's the issue. Yeah, you reap what you sow, dude. You use that against people like me and Jackson and Jimmy Dore and them. So what do you expect when ultra leftists start coming at you for not being revolutionary enough or whatever, right? And also, here's the irony too, and I think Destiny would probably get a kick out of this as well, because the whole Bernie movement, and this is what Hassan has never fundamentally reflected upon critically, and this is why I'm trying to call out the danger of American leftism right now, because these leftists like Hassan are not doing a self-criticism as far as Bernie's failure is concerned. All they're doing is doing an ultra-left critique of the Democrats while blaming people for being too stupid to get on board with Bernie. And this is positioning themselves in a very antisocial position, which I think has the seeds of a future real fascism in this country. Fascism does have its origins in the ultra-left disillusion with the masses, believe it or not, especially after World War I. And you need to understand that this is a dangerous thing. This is a dangerous position Hassan and the Chapo people, whoever else, that they're setting themselves up in. But it's interesting, you're calling out people for being too ultra-left in regards to you, but where's your substance, Hassan? Where's the substance of the progressive movement and the Bernie movement? There is none. What is its material popular base? It doesn't have a class basis in any segment of the American people. You are literally cornered and alone You're no different than those ultra leftists who are critiquing you for not being revolutionary enough. Because that's the only position you have in regards to the Democrats now, right? So please tell me how you're more realistic than Democrats. Why? Because you have AOC and the squad currently in power? Like, what do you do besides advocate for voting Democrat now? Like, what is your base? What is your solid base? Like, I've always
Although
known...
it is kind of you to have some sympathy for him, for me, if they got money plus time, they are 100 times more responsible for the bullshit they espouse or publish.
I agree, but the dude is still human, you know, at the end of the day. I have a belief we're all human at the end of the day. So if somebody's having serious mental issues and talking about that, I'm not going to, you know, come at them in a moment of weakness. But I'm not going to allow him to use that to abuse it and try to silence or delegitimize any criticism on that basis, right? I think people are human. I think, you know, you shouldn't be out here hating on people and trying to get in people's head and drive them insane or whatever. We should all be entitled to our privacy and our space. But you don't have a right to just not be critiqued. And especially when so many people listen to you, you know? Anyway, like I said, though, you know, this is what it comes down to. You yourself, because you haven't reflected upon the failure of Bernie's movement at all, besides blaming everyone, you're no different than the beautiful soul. Look, the way you shut down ultra-left criticism is you talk about meat and potatoes. You talk about, okay, that's what you want to be the case, but what does that mean in actual reality? What is the implication in actual material reality, right? And I asked the same question to Hassan. What does your leftism actually mean in material reality right now?
You have to literally make fucking content. Make better content.
Thank you, Hipsco.
Jesus fucking Christ. If the only thing you care about is literally trying to build a brand for yourself, if you do it by attacking me, it's going to feel good for a second because a lot of my fans are psychotic. Like that fucking idiot, 18-month subscriber that just informed me. They're insane.
Okay, I mean, I don't know the lore of Hassan's community, so I actually don't know what he's talking about here, but I'll guess I'll just accept what he's saying.
They literally look around all the time to see who's hating on me, okay? And they watch. And then they come in here and they show me that. So you're gonna think...
But dude, that's what happens if you're a fucking influencer, dude. You don't... That happens with me. I don't ever complain about that. People literally will link me stuff from fellow traveler to this day. And... You know what I mean? That's how it is, dude. You don't... I'll give you credit where credit's due. You're at the top of the hill right now, right? But you don't get to be king of the hill and not expect to be challenged all the time. That's what happens, dude. People want to see you overcome your challengers and overcome your critics and overcome adversity. They want to be able to see you withstand your position amidst being under attack. And I don't know how long you're going to be able to sustain streaming if you can't accept that. Your position isn't unconditional, dude. I mean, look, Hassan's obviously very blessed, looks-wise, physically, very blessed. But besides that, dude, you don't have an unconditional monopoly. You're not a popular streamer right now because you're the most special boy in the world. You're a popular streamer right now because you're tapping into a niche and a need, a political need right now. And you've done it, obviously, the most effectively, although it stands to question how much your background in media and your family connections had something to do with that. It's not because you're a special boy. You have to be able to address critiques, challenges, and adversity. You can't just sit here and just be like Bernie, just sitting here and just be like, well, I should just be able to sit here and not be challenged in any kind of way. You know, like, I don't know what you expect, dude. That's how it fucking works. People want to see how you're going to react to adversity, you know? And You decided to cut out ever doing debates ever again from your streams. Well, people want to... If you're not going to debate people, which is so fundamental, by the way, for a political figure, it is so unprecedented that you here have a political figure, a political media figure, who refuses to debate. Can you think of any popular political media figure who doesn't debate? Not even once, not even ever, right? I mean, I'm saying not even ever. Maybe if you're like, oh, I'll debate people who are worth it, but he doesn't even debate anyone. So people do want to see how you're gonna, how you're gonna react amidst adversity. Dude, nobody lasts forever. Nobody lasts forever. You can only rely upon the precedent you have for so long, but absolutely nobody lasts forever, In
your fucking baboon brain that, oh my god, like, dude, this is a good day for me. I got 300 views shitting on Hassan. Should do that more because you're an idiot, because you're a capitalist, okay? You're a capitalist. You only think about short-term profits. So you think in your mind...
I think most of the successful capitalists today actually operate on a loss in the short term. So I don't know why he's saying this. I don't even think most companies profit anymore. Uber doesn't even make a profit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But...
oh my god! I got more people than I ever did. I should continue doing this. Except... it's all going to go away when the fucking dummies in my community are like, okay, well, this guy just shits on Hassan all day, every day. Okay? That's it.
Then why did you have to cover Jackson's tweet, Hassan? Why are you, like, bitching so much about this? You didn't have to fucking cover Jackson's tweet. You came at us first here. I know I covered you, like, weeks and weeks ago because you had stupid dog shit takes on Marxism. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to Marxism. But... you went after the general strike people. You did that, dude. You decided to go against them. So don't fucking complain when you get some pushback. It's not like people are randomly attacking you. You went out of your way to go against the fucking general strike people, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? You came against us.
You're gonna go back to having 10 people watch you the moment that all of my fucking fans decide no longer to watch you because you're shitting on me all the goddamn time.
How many Hassan fans are in my chat? Former Hassan fans. I always wondered, like, how many former Hassan fans in my chat? Here? Me? A few of you. Me. There's a lot of you. Yeah, a lot of you. I think we've all watched Hassan at one point. I used to watch Hassan a little bit. I used to watch Hassan in 2019. I used to watch him. And I used to watch him, but not that often. But I would just tune in to procrastinate every once in a while. But you got to keep in mind, I was watching Hassan procrastinating, like, while I was writing books about, while I was fucking writing books about, the history of the Chinese Cultural Revolution and Frederick Jameson's Universal Army and just esoteric, weird shit like that. Like, I never took you that seriously as an intellectual, but I just saw you as an interesting pop political celebrity, and you were popping off, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is an interesting dynamic going on, and especially when you look at it from a psychoanalytic perspective, like where I was coming from. I was like, okay. In terms of media theory and stuff, I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting. This guy's getting big. I wonder what the implications of that are. What's this new live streaming format? I was fascinated by live streaming, by just this chat that's just scrolling, right? So it's not like... I think he thinks everyone who used to watch him was, like, created by him. And that's not true. Dude, I never took you that seriously, ever. I can't watch someone who's less knowledgeable in their own field than me. I can, easily. Because, look, I could be more knowledgeable. But if he's successful at what he does in entertaining people, that's a type of knowledge you don't have, right? So you should watch them, right? Clearly they're doing something right.
Thank you for basketballs. Have a fun Sunday.
I literally have people telling me they want to rape my fucking family in front of me, and dummies in my community still are like, oh man, even Instagram lefties are hating you. It's literally
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, look, this is where I sympathize. I get the same shit. You know, I get that shit too, and yeah, that shit just. You know why, to me, that takes a toll on me, specifically? It's not so much that it gets in my head, but it shows me how evil and psychotic and deranged other people are. And it just makes you lose. It makes you really black-pilled about others, you know? That's why it's so mentally just shattering to just fucking receive messages like that. You know, that anti-human deranged. You know, you shouldn't send that to your worst enemy. You shouldn't send that to your worst enemy, you know? Even in medieval times, where people are literally going to war to actually annihilate one another, like when Tamerlane was going to war with the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, and they were exchanging letters, right? And the Sultan sneak dissed Timur's wife or something. He just mentioned his wife. He didn't say anything vulgar, but he just like mentioned her, right? And Timur responded, "You're insane." That's it. And then Timur came and, you know, he raised hell, and it was really horrible, bloody, whatever. But even they didn't stoop to the level of the derangement of people on the fucking internet in 2021. So that goes to show you, is there really such a thing as progress? Like, even back then, where it was very personal and so much was at stake, right? Even then, people had the dignity not to say the things that people on the internet do, you know?
really like, you are trying so desperately to succeed in this industry, okay? And I get it. It's a fucking shit environment. But the way to do it is not by shitting on me, okay? You're not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna get like a little bit of a boost, and then after that, you're gonna be fucking irrelevant again. Make better content. Find your own fucking voice in this space, okay? I want.
Thank you, Happy. Hassan, the reason I have to address you is the same reason your own chat will link you me, or will link you some other creator. I don't know who you're talking about, or some other Instagram lefty, which is weird. I don't know if people are on Instagram. Yes, I only go on Instagram to look at models and to DM people and shit. But anyway, what I was saying is, if I'm gonna have a presence here, even if I am doing my own content, which I do, you are still the biggest political streamer on Twitch. So what you do, what Destiny does, and what the other political people do, you know, sometimes it is going to be relevant to me. People are gonna link it to me, and they're gonna ask me what I think about it, and that's just how it is, right? People want to see if people want to see who is Haas, they want to see who is Haas compared to the options that are on the table now. It's for the same reason that when you started out, Hassan, and now I'm going to call out his hypocrisy here, you had to address the popular right-wingers at the time, because most of the people in this space were right-wingers. So you had to talk about I forget his name, that YouTube guy, the right-wing British guy. You had to deal with Destiny, right? And you didn't just do your own fucking thing without ever covering other people's content and, you know, critiquing them and reacting to them. You talked about Jordan Peterson and stuff. And this is the fucking icing on the fucking cake, Hassan. You are such a fucking hypocrite here, dude. To this day, you always cover Ben Shapiro and shit, dude. Why do you have to cover Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, and these right-wing commentators? Why do you have to cover, you know... Why can't you just focus and do your own thing? Why do you have to spend all your time shitting on them? Well, because you're trying to appeal to a more least common denominator of people who might be undecided between you and Ben Shapiro. So you're trying to distinguish yourself from those right-wing commentators in some kind of way. Well, that's what I'm doing with you, Hassan. So stop fucking bitching about it. It's so immature.
Want there to be more leftists out there. I want there to be good leftists out there. Why is it that every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry, including like all of those idiots, like half of those fucking idiots are literally from my community. Half of the idiots that are now like...
Because leftist doesn't mean anything. It doesn't actually mean anything. And the biggest issue is people who... This is exactly what Stalin said. He said, we should be careful for right opportunists. We should especially be wary of left opportunists. Because left opportunists disguise themselves and cloak themselves in the language of revolution and things that we are for, the Bolshevik Party, while at the same time pursuing ends radically at odds with it. So that's why the left is more dangerous. For an authentic leftist, you're going to spend more time critiquing leftists than right-wingers. What does it even mean to critique a right-winger, right? What are you actually saying? You're saying truisms.
Jimmy Dore lefties are from this community. What the fuck happened? How are you guys so fucking stupid, dude? You talk about ivermectin 3 times and all of a sudden you get like a bunch of fucking idiotic Karens watching you and you think, oh, this is my career now. This is what I'm going to do.
I think he's using Karen to mean working class women. Maybe stay-at-home working class women who just are from ordinary backgrounds. I mean, not everyone's a model, Hassan. Some women are just regular, ordinary women with families. And, you know, they're working class. Not everybody's a model on the internet. It's a really weird thing to say.
Double down on this fucking bullshit anti-vaxxer nonsense.
What does a Karen mean? I don't even know what that means in this context.
Fuck.
Eat the rich, literally.
Build your own shit. Stop trying to fucking attack me. It's not going to be successful for you. You're never, ever, ever going to fucking create a career for yourself. I know you desperately want to do that. Okay? To everyone out there who's watching, angry, seething, I see you. I hear you. I love you. Just fucking please. I'm giving you advice as someone who's a successful content creator. Make your own thing, okay?
Is this directed at me or something? I don't know. I don't know who he's talking to. Or maybe it's at Jackson or something. Jackson, who didn't even know who you were, or you weren't even on his radar until he came onto Twitch, and he was getting at 1K average views on YouTube. Who are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Make your own thing. Copy successful people like myself. Okay?
That's the thing. I don't want to copy you, Hassan. I don't want to copy you because I do fundamentally think there's something irredeemable about the American left. I don't want to pander to lefties. I don't want to pander to people and blue pill people, right? So I don't want to copy you because your model doesn't work. Your model appeals to fucking echo chamber Andes, and I got nothing to do with it.
Okay? There's a particular reason why I, until recently, never touched upon the idiotic fucking weirdos that are other content creators that are trying to make a name for themselves on the left. And that's because they're embarrassing, okay? They are fucking embarrassing. You are one of them. You are embarrassing right now. You don't have to be, okay? Just stop. Do your own thing. You said anti-vax is bullshit, but it's a huge way to profit off of for capitalism. What? No, being an anti-vaxxer is how you fucking profit. Because
it's so interesting. Instead of throwing this fit, why don't you just address the criticisms? Why don't you just spend time addressing it? Can you address it? If you can't, just keep your mouth shut about it. You know what I mean? Why don't you just address the fucking criticisms instead of throwing a fit? You imagine how much more productive it would be if you were just like, okay, here's why these people are wrong. Hassan, you can't just be like, these people are insane, and then just be done with it then, you know? It don't work like that. If you want people to stop bothering you about it, show us what your line in the sand is. Just show people what your position is in contrast to them, right? And can that position stand to the challenge?
there's a lot of people who are anti-vaxxers. It's like one of the many ways that I was just trying to inform you, not shit on you myself. Kev Rhino, don't inform me like that, okay? I don't want to be informed about it. I'm telling you, it's like it's hurting me, okay? It's hurting me. I hate it. I hate seeing it every fucking day. I don't give a shit when dumbass right-wingers say stuff.
I think this is a really entitled mentality, to be honest. I think, like, he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. It's like, when someone is suffering publicly, I can't help but want to sympathize with them, right? But, you know, that's how you can't be like that, because you've got so much. You've got so much, right? You built up so much. You have such a big community, 30K viewers, and you want, not only do you want that, but you want to be able to be immune and completely insulated from any outside dissent or criticism or whatever. Dude, that's so fucking entitled. That's so unbelievably fucking entitled. You know what I mean? That's so unbelievably fucking entitled. Like, I always have the enemies in the back of my mind. I always have my detractors in the back of my fucking mind. Thank you, Demetrius. Appreciate you, man. I always have those in the back of my fucking mind. You know what I mean? Those are the people I'm always thinking about. I'm always thinking about the criticism that I'm getting. I move according to criticism, right? That's what drives me. But the thing is with you is that you just want to sit from behind your desk and shit on the popular right-wing commentators. Because that's what's cool, right? But you're basically just exploiting a generational difference. And someone had to say this shit, but I'm going to fucking just go ahead and say it. Hassan only has ever succeeded in thriving off of the generational difference between boomers and millennials. And some zoomers as well. But the zoomers are starting to get on his nerves. But he has never actually addressed antagonisms among the generation. Like, he knows how to distinguish. He's like, oh, those are the cringe boomers, Ben Shapiro and those guys. I'm the cool millennial. And that's what Chapo does as well. That's all you fucking do, Hassan. You've never actually successfully addressed any type of, like, class struggle within the fucking generation. That's what I do, right? And that's why it's so upsetting to you when you're dealing with detractors, just because you're kind of like you're like a demagogue for millennials. You're like, oh yeah, all the millennials are with me, all millennials support me. Well, millennials are getting old. There's Zoomers coming, right? And Zoomers aren't part of your little culture or whatever, right? And you're just under assault by these Zoomers on Instagram or whatever. And it seems like it's driving you insane. Well, welcome to politics, Hassan. Welcome to real-world politics. Or welcome to political media, where you do have to hold your own. You can't just be a demagogue for millennials and just expect to sustain that forever.
Stuff. I love that. If it's a dumbass right-winger, like, unless it's like a fucking Sargon of Akkad or someone, you know what I mean? If it's like some dumb shit like that, then that's fine.
Breathe in and relax.
But if
well, why can't it be the guy he mentioned? It can't be the guy he mentioned, because the guy he mentioned isn't only appealing to boomers. He only knows how to dunk on the lowest common denominator of, like, right-wingers who appeal to very ignorant and uninformed boomers, right? That's the only thing he knows how to deal with.
It's like literally people who functionally consider themselves to be lefties, especially when, like,
I don't care about, I'm leftist incidentally, and I don't even think I'm within the current political spectrum at all. I'm a left of the future. I'm not within the current American left as it stands at all. I'm a centrist in that regard. So I don't care to, I'm not trying to, like, appeal to the left-wing discourse to be like, hey, I'm one of you guys, I'm part of your tribe. Because I'm not. Because I'm not. I'm really not. You know what I mean? I'm really not.
gateway into leftist ideas. So I feel irresponsible when I fucking platform other people who brand themselves as lefties. And a lot of people are like, well, I think I'm a leftist, but like I've never read theory. And I think watching YouTube videos is a good substitute for understanding fucking
Yeah,
capital.
but what about people like me who have not only read theory, but actually write theory? You know what I mean? Like, you talk about reading theory, and you don't really read theory, Hassan. You read pamphlets with definitions. You don't actually read theory. Like, please, Hassan, go ahead and read Slavoj Žižek's book Less Than Nothing, and I'll quiz you on what he meant when he wrote that. Actually read some real theory or something, right? Read like that's a beginner level philosophy book, pretty much. You know, what do you mean read theory?
Capitalism and socialism, and then they literally fucking turn around and they lose their minds because they're watching all these fucking insane psychos.
This is the dialectic of insanity. So if you just set yourself up in a position where you're gonna just call everyone else insane, you're gonna fucking look insane yourself. And that's what you're doing here. When you're losing your mind because one chatter asked you a question, you're looking insane, dude.
And I know they're fucking fans because I see the videos. You guys send them to me, okay?
Is he talking about Durham operations here? I feel like he's talking about Durham operations. The guy who makes videos for us, or like he makes compilations for us. Because Durham did come from his community. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. And I think Durham operations is just living rent-free in his head. Something. I don't know.
Yeah, come on, guys. Don't leech off of Hassan. Hasanabi waiting room. Come on, guys. Don't leech off of Hassan.
What the fuck is this?
Fuck you, dude. Good, funny joke, dude. There you go. Now you're banned. Don't make me take your fucking dumbass Twitch stream down as well. I will go to Twitch and take it down.
What is he talking about?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that right now.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Text my account manager. Take your fucking Twitch stream down.
What's Hasanabi waiting room? What the fuck is that? It's a channel that streams his shit. Hassan's like he's acting like a fucking babysitter. He reminds me of the fucking babysitters I used to have as a kid. Where I would just be a kid and I would just find ways to fucking antagonize my babysitter and just make them mad. And they just start losing their shit. You know what I mean?
Chat, stop.
I'm fucking angry and I'm taking it
It's
out.
like, you know what? I'm calling your mom. I'm calling your mom right now. You'll see. I'm gonna call your mom right now.
You bitch. How about that?
Happy 4 months, toe hassle.
What's the name of the...
Why is trolling so fun as a kid? Why is it so fun? I don't even get the psychology of that. Why is it so fun as a kid to just make your babysitter mad? You ever notice that? It's so fun. It's so fun to make your babysitter mad as a kid. I don't get that. That's why kids only like funny adults. They only like adults who are self-depreciating and funny. They don't like adults who project an image of like seriousness. Because they will try and fucking take you down. You know what I mean? But if you're a funny adult who's just self-depreciating and always funny and shit, they'll love you.
Count again? This was supposed to be the fun day, but I can't have fun anymore. I can't. There's no fun. There's never fun. Okay? My life is fucking hell. Every time I have like a fun moment for myself, every time I have like an opportunity to celebrate something, whether it be this community fucking raising $200,000 for strike funds. There are people out there that are horny. They're vultures. They're literally sitting around going, how can I switch this around? Oh my God, he's doing it for fucking branding purposes. He's getting a tax write-off. He's doing this.
I think you're just doing it to feel better about your bankrupt political and ideological position. I think you're doing it to just feel like you're superior to others. What if it's that? What if that's what I think? What if I think the reason you're doing it is to just... What if I think it's like selling indulgences? You just want to absolve yourself of sin because you just feel guilty about your dog shit political position.
It's because he wants to flex his fucking clout. I don't know what to do, okay? I don't know what to do. The goal is, for a lot of these people, whether they recognize it or not, is for me to go away. And it's getting really fucking hard not to go away. I hate that I have to have these little blow-ups.
Alpha males don't get involved in another more successful man's business. Shut the fuck up, dude. He's getting involved in my business right now. He's getting involved in my business.
Every fucking time.
He covered Jackson's tweet and we can't fucking respond. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Like once a week.
Enjoy your Sunday stream.
You can actually take someone else's Twitch stream down? Haha, damn. No, it's a fucking literal like person who restreams my content. That's all they do. That's why I said. You predicated. Yeah, I did call it ahead of time that when I go public with the donation stuff, they would just say it's PR. I know. And part of the reason why I don't like doing it is because it is fucking PR. I don't like doing it in public. But it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. It's just you know what it is, dude? Everyone's like a lot of people's arguments on the internet unironically revolve around I hate you, so it doesn't matter. There's nothing good you can do. But the problem is, there's...
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck... You know, I don't take anything personally. I don't hate anyone. I don't really hate anyone. I really don't. I don't hate anybody. This is not this is a force of nature to me. This is about CPUSA 2036. Shit is not personal. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody. Everybody's backstage the same. Everyone's the same backstage. It's all the show.
There's also a lot of people who are in the margins that come in here and they're like, well, I think I kind of like this guy, but my entire timeline now is saying he's bad. Okay? So maybe he is bad because people are that malleable.
Even Vosh? Yeah, even Vosh. I don't hate Vosh. The fuck? Do you think I spend time hating Vosh and caring about him? I don't.
People are easy to fucking change the minds of. And then they're like, well, I guess this guy is bad. And it fucking pisses me off. And it also makes me feel terrible about like, you know, trying to do whatever I can to do right by everyone.
You can't do that, dude. You have to fucking take a side. You have to have a position that's gonna upset people. If you're not making enemies, you can't do right by everyone, especially not on the so-called left, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It sucks, dude. It fucking sucks. Anyway.
I hope you have a good day despite the chat.
"99% of us don't care about what you do. We love you, man." No, it's not 99%, the 1%, dude. It's not. It's like
so
it's
sorry,
it's
man.
fucking
You are
insane,
fucking
dude. It's
awesome,
insane.
Marjan.
I'm losing my fucking mind. Losing my fucking mind. No other content creator gets it to this level, dude. Literally, no other content creator gets it to this level. This is like Pokemon levels of fucking hatred or elimination.
That's just not true. That's just not true, okay? That's just not true, Hassan. That's just not true. Okay? Like, I got more... Like, you have more clout, so you get more quantitatively, but as a proportion, dude, bruh, you don't... Like I said, I see people complain about shit that's peanuts. There's people in my chat right now who I haven't even timed out who are shitting on me the way you're holding that standard to. I don't even time them out. Like, dude, you don't know what it's like to have haters, I don't think. On my level. Not on my level. You just don't have thick skin. Which is crazy for somebody who's 30K Andy. Right? I'm not even 1K Andy yet. It's crazy how much fucking haters I have. Like every day on Twitter I go viral from haters. Could Hassan withstand that? He probably could not. He couldn't. Listen, we're entering a nasty political climate in America. And mark my words, it's going to be a very nasty climate. And people who do not have thick skin are not going to have a place in the future of political media in this country. You're not going to have like a left-wing consensus where you're all going to just get along. It's just not how it works, dude. Never been like that. It'll never be like that. Voidburn, please. I know you told me the first time. I don't know what I'm supposed to make of that. Okay. Promises. Bro, no, bro. Last time I brought him on, I got in fucking trouble.
Levels of hatred. It's fucking nuts.
Making a change in the world.
Because it's like, it's profitable to shit on socialists, okay? And these are other socialists.
I like Mar a lot, but he's very edgy, and he takes it too far sometimes. That's all I gotta say.
Supposedly, but they're not. They're not real. They're not fucking actually socialists at all. They just say that they are.
No, maybe I'll bring him on for the showdown, but not today.
Dumbass fucking boomers, dude. Crazy.
Love you, Arjan.
The irony of the dumbasses are seeing success from people like Mooncat who just make good content or Hassan Abi heads. Exactly. No, there are a lot of fucking brilliant.
Am I going on the Royale? Yes, I am.
People in this community that have been in this community for a very long time, that are content creators themselves. There's so many fucking essayists on YouTube who I love, who are making very, very good content. And then there's like pathetic fucking losers, but the pathetic losers, they just can't, like, they can't stop. They're like, listen, guys, it's not even, it's not even that like, oh man, I can't avoid the hatred. Obviously I have a weak spot for that and I really can't. But it's also like the deranged people are like, how do I describe it? Like, they're really dedicated. They have no fucking lives.
I get that. I understand that. I understand that. I really do understand that. If it's just about deranged people who just... I get it. I get that. You know, I deal with that too. I can understand that.
So they spend all of their times, like, they make sock accounts. They make like 1 million fucking sock accounts. Like they have,
like there's a guy I saw in Zerka's chat whose literal name was "ban me, I have 8 accounts." So I do get that, and I've dealt with that in my Discord, and I've dealt with that in my fucking. I've dealt with that in my own chat, and I get it. Okay, so I understand that.
All the time in the world. When I say deranged, I mean like actually mentally ill, by the way. I'm not saying like, you know, oh, someone's mental illness, someone has mental illness. Like, no, they're They have fans that are also like that. So they get obsessive and they get fixated and they can't stop. Like they're literally everywhere. They try to get in front of me in every fucking, in every moment they can. It's worse when longtime subs fall for that shit too. Exactly. So when I see people who've been in this community for a long fucking time get literally duped by schizo posting grifter fucking podcasters who are like, please subscribe to my Substack. It's like,
who is he talking about? Who the fuck is he talking about? Who the fuck is he actually talking about? I feel like he's talking about me. I feel like he's sneak dissing me. Who else is a schizo posting grifter who has been negative toward Hassan? Fuck else, dude.
I don't know what to do. Like, what are you doing? Are you that stupid? Like, do you have no fucking autonomy? Do you have no fucking brain cell? Like, that's it? You just, they treat you like 4chan users treat lol cows. They're like Kiwi farm dudes. I mean, I have that too. That's the problem. That's the issue.
I just think Hassan's very immature. That's all I gotta say. He's very immature. And I know that's rich coming from me. I have plastic swords and shit, but nah, bro. You just are not. You cannot handle the internet, dude. You're very soft.
Is that like I also have the fucking 4chan dudes and the lol cow people too. So it compounds on top of one another and it gets to a point where I'm just like, this is hurting my mental health a lot.
Dude, I get that. I get that. I get that, you know. But all I gotta say is when I streamed and said the same shit, nobody showed me. I mean, some people DM me with sympathy, but yeah, like all political Twitch, everybody on Twitch was coming after me, fucking absolutely making it worse, shitting on me completely, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's hard. It's hard not to be a little bitter when I hear him say this as a 30K viewer streamer, because look how much support you have. I'm kind of alone in a way, right? I have a lot of support myself, but I don't have like celebrities on my side. I don't have like fucking that much recognition. So my story is still being contained. I'm not even a 1K Andy yet, you know?
And it sucks. It's just like it's people
Gotta move out Michigan. I was thinking, but I feel like if I moved to Texas or California, thank you, Janar, it would make me soft. Thank you so much, Janar. It make me soft. Like when I came back to Michigan from Austin and I came back to the airport and I looked around and shit, I was like, this is a dark, depressing, brutal, grimy place. But this is the place that has made me into the man that I am. I can't be living in no fucking warm, sunny place. I'll become a fucking soft, you know, I'll become a soy boy if I live in one of those places. I'll become a little bitch. You know what I mean? This is the place that makes me into a man. You know what I mean?
Working to dismantle and undo the things that
if you can't. Bro, Michigan is not for the emotionally weak. Michigan is not for the emotionally weak. That's all I gotta say. This place is not for the emotionally weak. We debating tonight? Yeah, we're gonna debate.
That worked so fucking hard to do.
After this video, it's almost over.
On you. Focus on.
So state what you want to debate about, Pablo, in the come on show requests. State what you want to debate about.
On the fact that you are shitting the bed on the basketball court. You can step it up. I know you can.
Anyway, yeah, we are going to talk about that. Hold on in a second.
Politics. We love you, Ajan, but not that jumper.
There's a MU thread up about you. What the fuck is MU? Are people getting paid to do this? No, there's just like, it's like fun for people. Because it's working. You know what I mean? That's why.
What's good, Papa?
Anyway, okay. After a while, it works. What's up, Jake?
YouTube frog here. Chat, stop being babies. Be better. Love y'all, but we need to do better. Hassle.
This is so weird. We need to do better. Oh, damn. This... God. We need to... I thought I was strict, dude. I thought I was running a cult. What the fuck, bro? I asked for the bare minimum.
People treat you like the Keemstar of socialism. Dude, I hate that, okay?
The only thing I get mad about chat nowadays for is being nerds. If chats are nerds, I get mad at them. But other than that, they're being annoying nerds. That's it.
Anyway, I was supposed to fucking talk about my personal news in this part of the broadcast, and then I spent 46 minutes fucking crying and complaining about fucking people who are deranged and talk about like how they want to fucking murder me all day, and it's like literally that's the content. The content is like how we can murder Hasanabi. It's fucking awesome. It's great. How you can murder Hasanabi as a leftist. Like, how
aren't you a nerd though? Yeah, but read the room. This is not a nerd meeting ground.
will we kill Hassan Piker as a leftist though? Like, how will we kill him? But I'm a leftist because he's the enemy of the class. He's a betrayer of class. We should murder.
What the fuck are you talking about? I feel like he's talking about me because of the title, but he's being so over dramatic about it. So shut the fuck up. You are an enemy of the working class because you're going out of your way to signal against general strikes. And you're shilling for the Democrats. It's just that simple.
Murder him, but also, like, I'm a leftist. We should do it in a leftist way. Like, I say a lot of the right-winger shit, okay?
Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. You're literally fucking so fucking... Am I too soft now, guys? Was I too sympathetic to him? When he says crazy shit like this, just for critiquing him, you have to fucking do that kind of shit. Go harder. I don't know. I'm just not angry enough at him, you know? When somebody is talking about their problems, my first instinct isn't to go in for the fucking kill. My instinct is like, okay, they... You know, I don't have that instinct in me to... I don't have the instinct in me to attack the already weakened. You get what I'm saying? I only go after people who need to be humbled, not people who are already weak. Which is so crazy. I find it so crazy, people who attack the already defeated. It's like, dude, they already were defeated. What do you want to... What point are you trying to make? Alright, I'm going to be debating some guy. Debating guy about... Yeah, he would make fun of me for the two-hole shit. He would have definitely dunked on me for that shit. 100,000%. Alright, I'm going to bring this guy up. Yo, what up? Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Turn off the stream. There's no reason to be having the stream on. Turn it off. That doesn't make sense. Discord is working fine. Can a mod get in here? See if a mod can hear me? Nah, it's not gonna. The feedback's too bad. Yeah, I don't know how you can't. Can you turn off the stream? I don't know how you can't hear me. You need to change your Discord settings. Change your Discord settings. Voice and videos, change your output. Yeah. Change your output. You can hear me now? Okay, what's going on? No, you don't have to. Why is it a waste of time? I'm building another house. Yeah. Okay, where's the actual site of meeting? Where's the actual site of meeting? Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's something different. It's not just discourse. It is actually somehow different in nature. And this is what I think why it's a waste of time, because I think what you're doing is like a different flavor, a different skin, or really essentially the same thing. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. What is the city of God?
Well, so okay, so I think that this is the process that happens, right? A person is inspired by something real. And then as that person is inspired, they create some sort of output. They create, maybe they write a book based on this inspiration, or they make some music or something. And they start creating the output of this inspiration. So really what matters not so much the output, but the inspiration, the nature of the inspiration. So what I mean by City of God is, the way that I'm seeing it now is, it seems like there's all these different types of inspirations, but I think there's really only two types of inspirations. There is what comes from below, and what comes from God. And I think what comes from God is one type of inspiration. And then everything else, independent if it's capitalist or so or whatever. Like it becomes so clear that all these words, all these names are so pointless and so meaningless. If one
How can
starts
you
to look,
demonstrate they're meaningless?
well,
Have you exhausted their meaning yourself?
so yeah, so I have not exhausted. I I'm continuing in this person.
How have you arrived at the threshold
Yeah. So
upon
it
which you
came.
can discover that they're meaningless?
Yeah. So the process really, and I'm continuing this process. It's kind of like this.
Also,
Since
what is
very
the determinate content of this revelation? I think is the word you're trying to find from God. What
yeah,
is its
so,
actual determinate content? And how do you know that's not meaningless?
yes. So that is the question. That is the single most important question, which is.
So should I spend my time dwelling on that question, or should I be a man and face the world for what it is?
Well, so let me answer the first question, right? You asked, how does one come to this conclusion? So personally, what it is you find something. You find something very interesting. You find something where there seems to be hope of something more than we see around us. And then one explores that. And one spends time, dwells with it, tries to understand it. And then one comes to a conclusion, if this is satisfactory or not. Then he continues. Now you ask this question, right? Should I just be a man and face the world? I think what's risky about the position you're taking, and why it would maybe even be better to be like a very pathetic leftist liberal, is because possibly the building you entered gives you enough order and enough stability for you to go your whole life without the realization that what you're doing is meaningless. Because there's so much order, and your life can actually function. That's the thing about like these leftists or liberals. Like, it's so pathetic. There will be so many opportunities for repentance. Like, there will be so many opportunities when you see that you're a total.
Hold on, I have built myself an order that will allow me to escape confronting its ultimate meaninglessness, right?
Good, yeah. Nice, yeah.
How long have I built this for?
I don't know. How long did you build it for?
How long?
Wait, are you saying that you did this, or?
Yeah, how long have I built this for? This order that I'm relying on.
How will I know how long it took you to build yours?
Okay.
You should tell me.
Where did it come from? How did I build it? Where did I get my raw materials from to build this building?
Great question. Great fucking question. So,
yeah.
So there is this movie, right? And everybody.
Can you answer the question without talking about movies? Just answer the question.
What was the question again?
How did I build this building?
Well, at some point you received or direct inspiration or indirect inspiration. By direct inspiration, I think very few people receive this. Maybe, Marx received this. And that's how you know, or maybe Lenin. And this is how you know how much they were able to create. A lot of people, they receive like secondhand inspiration.
So mine was secondhand?
Well, it's impossible for me to know exactly because maybe you have like something new, right? But the point is, most people, like for example, people in chat, it's not speaking bad about people in chat, but a lot of people, they like to come close to a person who's received inspiration. So you've received some sort of inspiration. This is why people like to be around you. It's because there's some sort of aura, because you're serving as kind of a vessel to this inspiration. But really, the only question is the nature of the inspiration, and if this is really the truth or if it's just a fake. And I think that the source of inspiration that came to you is a fake.
How do you know?
Well, I don't know, but all I can do.
Why do you think that? Why should I care what you think?
Well, you shouldn't. I mean,
so but you're here to debate and explain to me why what I'm doing is ultimately meaningless. So obviously I should care. That's what you've came on to debate. Unless you want to admit that you can't debate about it because you can't convince me to care about what you think arbitrarily. How can you convey? How can I see what you're seeing?
Yeah. So I did come to debate the point, right? If I'm either right or wrong. But if I really... Anyways, the point is, how can you see what I'm seeing? Well, Does this make sense at all or no?
No.
None of it makes sense.
You're engaging in an extremely shallow platitude about how echo chambers are formed and how people estranged from the source of revelation happen to create discourses without actually establishing an authentic relationship to the source. But what's to say that there is not a constant revolution in the forces of production, so to speak? What's to say that I am not constantly changing in accordance with the original insight and vision upon which infrared was founded? How can you be contented with saying that I've merely built up a house and that I can't, I'm distracting myself from being delivered to its ultimate meaninglessness? What position are you in to know if it's meaningless or not? What if I've been actually delivered to some kind of meaning and I'm building my house on the basis and on the foundation of maintaining fidelity to that meaning? What if that's the case?
Yeah. No, I think that's exactly what you're doing. I think that it's not just that. I mean, building a house is not a small thing, Haz. I think that there is something which you came across, some sort of revelation, and you're building upon that and remaining.
Which is ultimately meaningful.
Well, no. And the reason I say
so,
no
what
is
is meaning? Explain to me what meaning is.
Yeah. So meaning, at least as I see it, is truth. Is the city of God, is this true source of revelation.
No, that's not what meaning is. That's not what meaning is.
That's why I say what I think, because meaning is just a sound. It's
no,
words.
Meaning
right?
is a consistency. That's all what meaning means. Meaning points to something beyond itself. That's meaning. If something means something, it means something greater than itself.
Yeah, but it's okay. So let me put a qualifier then. What if I say then true meaning? Like true meaningfulness, meaning that there is, in the vast array of inspiration that exists in this world, is there one line of inspiration that is true?
Yes.
That's the question. It is, right? So you say it is.
Yeah.
And you think that that line of inspiration is what you are building your house upon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the... yeah, and I mean... Interesting. And so how are you so confident that this inspiration is the true inspiration?
Because to me, meaning is about the absolute. It's about where the buck stops. For something to mean something, it means that is the highest point of revelation. And to me, the absolute is the unity of opposites. It's the point in which a conclusion is united with its premise. Heaven is united with earth. And thinking is united with its material opposite. Head is united with body. So the highest insight of thought is united with the material foundation of thought itself. This is Marx's insight.
Now, do you think that somebody...
So when you're searching for the meaning of any given thing, you are only going to be delivered to its opposite. And to me, that itself is the essence of meaning.
So
that unity of opposites is the essence of meaning.
Okay. Do you think that it's possible to find meaning then in a different source of inspiration? Like, for example, somebody is very deeply inspired by capitalistic thinking. Do you think it's possible to find...
All inspiration has a common object. Because it has the same essence and the same object. The question is whether one can maintain fidelity to this object without betraying it eventually, and therefore entering into some kind of confusion. That's why when you're talking about capitalist ideology, well, capitalism is internally contradictory. A capitalist ideology, as you're putting it, couldn't possibly account for the internal contradictions of capitalism itself. So what then?
So are you saying that if somebody's very deeply inspired by something, right? We don't exactly know what that is. That leads to capitalist thinking. You think that would eventually lead to the same end goal of meaning?
Yeah, if they pursued it with enough fidelity and consistency, yes.
Do you think that every source of inspiration has somehow the same nature? Because this is
yes, it has the same essence.
This is the point that I'm...
Is there one humanity or is there many humanity? There's one humanity. So, of course, yes, they have the same essence.
Well, but what we're talking about here, Haz, is not human.
Yes, we are. We are talking about human.
No, we're
If
talking
I
about what
believe that
inspires a human.
if I believe humanity is the ultimate object of humanity, then the reason why someone finds inspiration, let's say, in the idea of capitalism, is because there's something human about it, right? And if they can't replicate that inspiration in any kind of way, then what that means is that they are engaging in some kind of psychosis, completely cut off from the rest of society with no possibility of conveying it to another person, because they are neglecting their own humanity. So,
Haz, what is that source of inspiration? What is it that inspires? What is it?
what is it that
What is it?
inspires?
Yeah, you, for example, you're sleeping, and then in the middle of the night, an idea comes to you.
No.
Where did
that's
that
not how
idea
it
come
works.
from?
That's not how it works.
How can you say that's not how it works?
Because ideas only give expression to a material essence that was already there.
See, and this is what I mean by the second, iteration of inspiration. Like, for example, you read Marx, right? And throughout this book, or throughout the book, The Capital, or whichever book, one sees something through this book. But at some point, Marx had the inspiration to write the book. So you say, okay, it's because he read another book. And then you keep going back to books until the first book. But really, I believe, and from personal
you're just being fucking lazy at this point.
How? What are you talking about, lazy?
Can you turn off your fucking Discord notifications? Can you turn them off?
Well, I can try. Here we go, notifications. Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious, huh? Okay. I think that... Can you speak real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they were... So how can you say I'm lazy, man? I'm trying
Because
hard.
you're
I'm
just
serious.
making assumptions about what Marx's work means without even fucking knowing. You're just saying, oh, it means another book. Why?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm literally not saying that.
Okay, what do you
literally
want?
not-
Meat and potatoes. I'm an American, so I want practical results, and I just want to know what the fuck you want. What do you want?
Well, what I cannot do, and I literally can't do, is for example, say okay, this is my house, and then we argue about whose house
What
is
is
better.
the point? What's the point of this? What's the actual point?
The point is that the source of inspiration, which is the source of all that you're doing, the source of the meaning of your life, is wrong.
So what's the point?
What do you mean, what's the point? What would you do? And the honest
You
question.
can't prove it. You can't argue in favor of that.
Sure. But-
So what are you
God.
saying? What are you actually saying, and what's your
God.
end goal here?
Honest question. Really honest question. What would you do? This is really not a trick question or any bullshit like that. What would you do if one day you found out that everything you built your life upon was wrong? Would you have the ability, and this is a serious question, to let go of that and start new?
I refuse to
Or would it be
believe.
too difficult?
I refuse to believe that things happen for no reason. There's always a truth to everything. So I would distill and clarify the essence. It's about the essence of things. As far as I'm concerned, there's no way I'm completely wrong about everything. In essence, I have to be correct. I can be wrong about the way in which I'm relating to that essence, but we are all correct in a sense. Everyone did, even for someone who has the opposite ideology as me. They're not just going to wake up one day and discover they're wrong about everything. They were right about something, but they just weren't right enough.
But do you see how that would be the most tragic ending to a person's life, where they're never able to begin fresh?
You can't begin
And
fresh
you're
in this
so-
world. There's no way, there's no such thing as beginning fresh. There's a song, I recommend look up the song and listen to it a little bit. It's called We Didn't Start the Fire. There's always a fire. There's no starting fresh. You always have the burden of something that you didn't control, you didn't account for, you didn't ask for, and you didn't want to have, that you have. You have a family, you have a society, you have a history, you have a community, you have a world, you have a politics. You didn't decide these things. You didn't choose these things. They're laid before your doorstep, and you got to deal with it and make do with what you do with it, because you don't get to start completely from scratch from nothing.
Well, that is a big statement, and actually the principle of this is a very charged word, but Christ's teachings begins with starting fresh.
No,
Not
you
saying
don't
to be
start
Christian,
fresh.
well,
You don't
that's the whole
start
idea.
fresh.
That's literally the whole idea of Christianity. Well, and
No,
maybe
it's
it's
not.
pure form.
No, it's not.
What is repentance and baptism about then? Being washed. And
It
starting
doesn't.
fresh.
It
That's
doesn't
crazy.
annihilate the whole threads of creation. It maybe annihilates sin, not the whole threads of creation itself.
But the reason that it's so wonderful is that you, even though creation's still there, all the buildings that we were talking about, all the houses are still there, but you yourself, the individual, can now begin fresh as a child once again. This is why it's wonderful, man. This is why really there's nothing like Jesus. It's just too wonderful. It's too beautiful. But anyways, that is the point. Yeah, that's the point.
Okay, there's no point. I think you just did this to feel good about yourself and jack yourself off. You
No.
needed the validation. Speaking
No.
of starting from nothing, why did you need... It didn't seem like you're starting from nothing. It seemed like you needed to come on this stream and get the validation to say this so that you would feel good about yourself. Why not
No.
say it in silence by yourself? Why come on stream and tell me this?
Yeah, so the purpose I wanted to debate with you is the exercise and the learning opportunity, because it's possible that you
Or
could
why?
have said something.
Why?
And do you think that if one is seeking that which is true, he's got to take some risks. He's got to try different things, and it was an experience. And I think, well, I'll reflect on it after, but it was definitely a useful experience. I appreciate it, you know. But it was definitely not to like back myself off or any. Like, I'm
Yes,
serious. It was really like.
It definitely was. That's the only thing that happened here is you jacked yourself off.
How? I was looking for something for you to tell me, and you did tell me some things. I'll think about it, but well, maybe you don't believe me when I say it wasn't, and then we leave it at that. In either case, you know, I like you, like I'm a subscriber, like I care for you. I've done it before, and I'm gonna keep watching your stuff. But you know,
Okay. Bye.
do you wish I was a bit more like solid, right? Something more to grasp and like to fight about.
I just don't think you know what you're doing or what you even want here.
On the call specifically or in life?
Both, probably.
Well, either case, we'll see, yeah? But,
Okay, bye.
alright, see ya, man.
I never get people who want to come debate. I only just get weird people who say weird shit. I never get people who actually debate me about shit. I just get weird people who just say just incomprehensible weird shit. Like the guy who's... Remember the guy who came on and started talking about Hegel on force, and he just took away like 200 viewers? And no, I didn't even know what he wanted to this day. I don't even know what he wanted. That's the type of people that I get coming in my VC now. I just don't get people who debate me about anything. I don't have debaters anymore, you know? It's fucking insane. Should I be late to the Royale or should I go on like now? What do you guys think? Should I wait? I think I'll wait. I'll wait like 20 minutes or something. I'll be late. I promised like a 7-hour stream today. So I'm going to do a 7-hour stream tomorrow. It's just that today I had the Royale. And honestly, the Royale is part of the streams. You guys should watch me on Zerka. Just watch me on Zerka. I was on Zerka's shit like for like 8 hours yesterday. The day before I was on for like a ton. You know, I've been neglecting my streams a lot, but I've been on Zerka's streams a ton. And the reason for that is because it's less stressful, right? But we can actually, we're going to do a little bit before. I want to cover some CPUSA cringe, right? I want to cover some CPUSA cringe. As the saying goes, this is written by fucking what's his face? Joe Sims for the CPUSA on the election. All in to defeat Trumpism. I'll critique this another time, honestly. I'll critique it tomorrow. This is the most cringe fucking shit ever. I want to spend an actual dedicated stream to. But we have Michael Hudson. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. Actually, I might just have Logo on. You guys want to have Logo? Logo said he wanted to come on. I'll just bring Logo on. Hold on, let me pee and I'll be right back. I'll bring Logo on. We're gonna talk to Logo.
You
Okay, Logo didn't respond yet. I was taking a piss and checking shit, and he didn't respond yet. Is Michael Hudson a Trotskyist? Is he a Trotskyist? Because that'd be so disappointing. Okay, well, I don't want to talk about Trotsky here.
Leon Trotsky was a very famous Russian indeed, a key figure in the Bolshevik Revolution.
Is this Galloway's wife? Wow.
In the foundation of the Red Army, which successfully repelled the foreign invasion of Russia, which sought to overthrow it.
He even found time to be the godfather of our next guest, Michael Hudson, professor of economics at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and the author of Super Imperialism, the Economic Strategy of American Empire. I'm glad to say he joins us now. Professor, let's clear up this first point. Whilst never a follower of Leon Trotsky, I do know a fair bit about him. He was, of course, Jewish by culture and tradition, but he was an atheist. How did he end up as your godfather?
Well, my family were also atheists. I was born in Minneapolis, and Minneapolis was the only city in the world in the 1930s that was a Trotskyist city. And my father and other Trotskyists went down to Mexico and worked with Trotsky there. And as a result of my father and mother being there, she was pregnant with me. He said he would be, I guess, whatever the socialist equivalent as a godfather is, but the English language doesn't have words for a godfather of people who don't believe in God. So we used the closest word that was in the English language.
Well, I'm glad we've cleared that up. Trotsky's reputation might be enhanced or might be damaged by having been a godfather whilst being an atheist. But more importantly, you grew up to be a very considerable intellectual indeed, and something of a powerhouse on the issue of imperialism. So you didn't necessarily stray far from Trotsky's path in this. But super imperialism is not a phrase I've heard before. Kindly explain that thesis.
Well, when the word super imperialism was used already in the 1920s. I wanted to call my book Monetary Imperialism, because that's how America achieves its world position today, through finance. But the publisher at Hold Reinhardt had gone to school with a Stalinist who wanted to use the word super imperialism.
Based.
So I used that word, and that means a unipolar world, not a competition among empires like England and France, but a single unipolar United States sucking in the whole world into its own economic area, largely by financial control, largely by using the dollar as a financial instrument to control other countries financially, not militarily.
But they're not short of military intervention and power, of course, as a belt and braces strategy. But that period you describe was historically very brief, wasn't it? From the fall of the Soviet Union to the rise of China and its alliance with Russia. The unipolar period has now passed.
I'm hoping it will, and if it does pass, it's going to be because of de-dollarization. And in order to understand how it's passed and what it is that's passing, you have to understand what actually was put in place that Russia and China and other countries are trying to protect themselves from and break free of.
It's voluntary, though, this dollarization, isn't it? I mean, nobody has to deal in dollars. It's a bit of a surprise that it's not over already.
Well, that's exactly the point. The strange thing is, when I wrote the book in 1972, right after the United States went off gold.
Why is he against Bitcoin? Does anyone know why he's against Bitcoin?
Everyone thought the United States was losing its power. The largest buyers of the book were the CIA and the Defense Department. And I was immediately hired by Herman Kahn at the Hudson Institute, a national security institute, to explain to the government how imperialism was working. And they looked at it as a how to do it book. And the funny thing is that it was read much more on the right than on the left.
Well, China, for example, they could, in an instant, de-dollarize the world, right? Are you anticipating this move?
They're already trying to minimize their holding of dollars. They only use dollars to intervene in the foreign exchange market to stabilize their exchange rate. They know just exactly what's happening. And in fact, my book has sold 40,000, Super Imperialism.
Western leftists would be like, if they ruled China, like, how can you claim to be against the US dollar when you're holding the world's largest reserve of US dollars? Haha, I win. Like, they're literally that stupid.
Sold 40,000 copies there, more than it sold in the English language. And there's a new
hypocrisy much?
Edition coming out.
Yeah, they Chapo would make like a tweet like, destroying the US dollar by holding the world's largest reserve of US dollars. Like, yeah, you don't get it. The thing you're making an irony of is actually a dialectical contradiction in reality itself. Congrats for being a fucking dumbass, though.
Out in Chinese, just as the American third edition is coming out also.
So you obviously speak of new currencies. The one major new currency that pops to mind is obviously the cryptocurrency. Is Bitcoin going to play a big role in this? No. You
I can't imagine. Not really. I don't see.
Okay, first time chat from a viewer. It's a paragraph. You're banned forever. Bye.
Them being more than keeping your money in Andy Warhol etchings or something else. It's not.
It's all about first impressions here. It's all about first impression. If the first impression you're gonna make is to annoy the fuck out of me, you're not getting a second chance.
Not a political currency, and certainly not a means of settling balance of payments deficits and the military spending that causes the balance of payments deficits. And that really is one of the points of super imperialism, is the U.S. Balance of payments deficits ever since the Korean War in 1951 has been military. So when people talk about the dollars being pushed into the world economy, that's U.S. military spending that's doing it.
So the dollar is mightier than the sword in maintaining American hegemony in the world. Is that your thesis?
That's the basic thesis, yes.
Even though they've got so many swords and spend so much money on it?
That's just backup, just in case other countries won't play the American game and try to go it alone and try to essentially create a socialist type government that's an alternative to finance, or that won't let American financial companies come in and take control of their economy.
Now, I hate to go back to your godfather, but looking back now, how far have you strayed from that path? Do you describe yourself as a Trotskyist? If you are, you're one of the few that's ever been on British TV.
Well, it's not on the DNA molecule. Trotsky never really wrote anything about economics at all. So there's nothing...
He wrecked Christopher Hitchens? No way, I gotta see that.
Really Trotskyist about my ideas, and finance is not neither left-wing nor right-wing in character. So I guess you'd say I'm a classical economist. Adam Smith, John Stuart Mill, and of course, classical economics ended up with Marx.
Finally, Joe Biden has or had announced a stimulus package which would change the face of America, rebuild your crumbling infrastructure, give a handout to the middle class, which is what you call the working class in your country.
Joe Biden.
None of that has survived. The so-called stimulus package is now just a Christmas box for American capital.
That's exactly right, and that's what it was meant to be from the beginning. The genius of a politician is to say something that appeals to the voters so that he can deliver the voters to the campaign contributors. And the campaign contributors of the Democratic Party are the oil and gas industry, the coal industry, and he's given the oil industry the rights for offshore drilling, to increasing the fracking. So basically the United States says, we're against any environmentalism that Europe is having. In fact, we don't want Europe to buy low carbon gas from Russia. We want you to buy high liquefied natural gas from the United States, go for coal, go for U.S. oil. That's really the message that you've had in Congress in the last week, and that's what's replaced the rhetoric of his proposed rebuilding. The job of a politician is to deliver his voters to the campaign contributors that I've mentioned.
It's been a long road, Professor, if you think about it, from Trotsky's role in 1917 through the War of Intervention, the building of a Red Army, all the way to you talking with me in 2021, 100 years after the War of Intervention. Are you optimistic? Do you see the future in socialist terms? Or do you think capitalism has won?
It has to be socialism. The original idea of capitalism, industrial capitalism 100 years ago, was that it was going to evolve into socialism. It was going to develop more and more government subsidy of the economy, more and more government infrastructure to provide to employers at a low cost. That hasn't worked. There's been a counter-revolution. The rentier interests, the landlords, the financial interests have fought back, and capitalism is so debt-burdened that the economy in the United States and much of Europe, certainly in England, cannot go forward as long as there's so much of a debt overhead, a debt burden, and so much privatization. So China is simply doing, in a socialist way, what the United States, Britain, and Germany did in their industrial takeoff. China's just following the same policy that originally was industrial capitalism evolving into socialism, but it's gone directly into
industrial policy is what it's called.
Into socialism, and so it's basically achieved a more efficient economy. The West is not an efficient economy to have a real estate bubble financed by debt and to have a financialization of industry and corporate industry. That is that leads to a dark age, as it did in Rome. Oligarchies taking over are not very good at surviving.
Professor, thanks for taking a spin with us on board the Sputnik.
Well, it's very good to be here, George.
Based. I had a thought in my head that I forgot. Thank you, Workers Patriot. Appreciate you. Hitchens always had too much pride in me. Let me see. Michael Hudson. Christopher Hitchens. Logo responded. Let me see what he said. He's eating dinner. Maybe. He's eating dinner. On, I don't see the debate. Michael Hudson, where is he? Michael Hudson versus Christopher Hitchens. I don't see it. Oh, it's Galloway versus Hitchens. Oh, I saw that one. Parenti versus Hitchens. I want to see that one. Iraq and the future of U.S. foreign policy. This was 8 years ago.
We're gonna...
Let's see who got vindicated.
Warn you guys when you get down to a 2-minute limit. Hopefully that's all right with the both of you. Then we're gonna give them a chance to reply and rebut to one another for an additional 10 minutes. After that, we have a moderating panel that's gonna ask a few questions. The members of that panel, aside from myself, are Professor Mark Crenshaw from the Government Department, Saj, Nabil, Professor Rob Rosenthal from Sociology, and Sarah. After the moderating panel's had to say, we have asked that our guests directly engage each other and pose and respond to, in no closing remarks, a single question. So now, it is my incredible privilege to introduce our guest for this evening. First up, we have Dr. Michael Parenti, who has been a very vocal assistant critic of this after he came out.
How about moderating? Is anybody else there? That's all right.
Are you all right? Okay. Can everybody hear me? This thing all of a sudden's out. No. Can everybody hear me now? All right. Now it's on. Wow. Okay. So, by agreement, opening tonight will be Christopher Hitchens.
Thank you, Sasha, and thank you
ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, for brothers and sisters, I hope I can say, for coming. Oh, I can't say that, okay. Have you ever known that to fail? Am I audible to all? Very good. I recently realized after returning from a long trip to Iran that I'd become the only person...
How is this guy allowed in Iran?
I think, since the year 2000, to have reported from both from Iran, from Iraq, and from North Korea. In other words, to have, without particularly wishing to, have become an expert in axes of evil. And I'll just say to begin with that it's a huge pleasure to be invited to debate these grave matters in what seems to me to be the Hogwarts dining hall. Some of you look from where I'm standing reassuringly antique. I can see some veteran visages in the hall, but I also noticed that quite a lot of you are terrifyingly young. And I wanted, this is perhaps a pity, but I hope it won't be, because I want to date my remarks from the year 1989, in fact, to be specific, from the fall of that year, which will be perhaps a legend or an early memory to some of you, but which is always worth looking up. It was in that year that tremendous act of social and national emancipation occurred, not just in the countries of the former Soviet Empire and its dependencies,
Emancipation.
who saw their former masters and their former system of banana republic socialism melting away.
This is the most, like, clueless interpretation of the events of the collapse of communism I've ever heard. That's the most, like, what a fucking... Dude, this guy, if he was alive today, he would be crying.
But an emancipation for all of us.
None. It didn't turn out how you thought it would, dude.
Too, all of us, like myself, I was born in 1949, who've been brought up in the shadow not just of the Cold War, but of its corollary, the arms race, the permanent threat of nuclear extinction, the zero-sum and authoritarian...
Hey, I used to be a Trotskyist. I'm against everyone. I'm especially against the ghastly communist states. And as soon as they collapsed, I was very well. I was always a Trotskyist who sought their destruction.
Manner in which all political arguments had to be conducted, whether it was Chile or South Africa or Vietnam or Poland or Czechoslovakia, everything one found, one attempted to make sense or to deploy reason, was shoehorned into the conscripting categories of the Cold War, with over it all the time the possibility that a final solution would be found in the form of a thermonuclear extinction. To be freed from this and from its counterpart, the concept of the one-party dictatorial state, was an extraordinary moment of what I suppose I'd now have to call euphoria.
Now China's the biggest country in the world. Haha. Now China's the wealthiest country in the world. Haha. Didn't work out for you, none of that.
It didn't seem so euphoric at the time, though there were beautiful moments to it. I was in Romania, for example, for the end of the...
For example, you were in Romania, and Romania is going to return to communism, actually, and now China is leading the world, and it's the world's leading power, and this was in 2008, and you didn't have the foresight to appreciate the fact that China would become the premier world power of the world. You thought liberal democracy was going to spread to China on a completely unfounded basis. No such thing ever happened in China. Thank you, Seth Kiki. I appreciate the...
K-E-K.
Thank you, appreciate it. You never so foresaw that possibility, Christians. And then China is the foremost premier power of the world. And you see your narrative events of the Fukuyama's end of history, in which everyone's going to become a liberal democracy, and that's the end of history, that's the final evolution of human political systems. Turned out to be completely false, Christians, and you can't even hold a debate for your own.
The Ceausescu dictatorship. It seemed realistic. We began to hear some foolishness being uttered. Professor Fukuyama's prediction of the end of history, I think now, as I thought then, was perhaps a little premature. But
perhaps a little premature, but it's on its way to becoming true. We're going to have a completely liberal democracy.
Were reasons to think that a synthesis might be possible, that some of what had been learned by the socialist movement in its long struggle through the 19th and 20th centuries could be used to tame the concept of the free market society and the open market society.
Yes, use it to tame the free market. Use the ideas of socialism to tame the free market. Never mind the fact that it's come around and tame the free market. Never such a thing can be possible in the first place. And indeed, as a matter of fact, I was thinking about the possibilities of the empirical, that are the matter of the fact I don't even know what.
That there would be money to spare at last. There was talk, not idealistic talk only, of a peace dividend in those days. Some of you will remember it perhaps with a pang. What we were spending on weapons of mass destruction could perhaps be deployed to nobler ends, and it might even be possible to have another look at the terms of trade that governs relations between the rich and poor worlds. It was not a bad little time in which to be alive, in other words. I haven't done the exact maths, but you can do it in your head. How long did this period last? This period of feeling that there was only one future model, and that whatever form it took, it would have to take a democratic form, a pluralist form. That the age of the totalitarian despot was gone. I would say the Berlin Wall fell on, I think, November the 9th, 89. Ceausescu was dead by Christmas Eve of the same year. If we date it, say, from New Year's 1990, I think it gives us about 6.5 months of this illusion. Because in 6.5 months, Slobodan Milosevic had invaded Bosnia, and Saddam Hussein had not just invaded Kuwait, people say invade, hadn't occupied Kuwait even. He had annexed Kuwait, made part of Iraq, what had up till then been a member state of the United Nations.
Ah, ghastly. Absolutely ghastly. I was sitting in England. I could not tolerate this. It is definitely my business. I'm an Englishman, and what's going on in the Middle East is completely my business personally. It's up to me. I'm going to go tell with people in the Middle East what to do.
A member in good standing of the Arab League and an independent country, and had said that it no longer existed, an unprecedented form of promiscuous aggression. And we found, no, we haven't got rid of the one-party leader, the man who believes that he is God. We haven't got rid, even the Balkans, of this, and we haven't got rid of it in the Middle East, and it's still restless and sleepless, and it means us harm. And
means us harm.
Within a year or so of that, a similarly ideological party had seized control in Rwanda and decided to embark on a final solution of its own. And the one had previously thought unsurpassable cult of the
I like how he's blaming that on one-party rule. What a stupid thing to say.
Personality and of the one God.
No, it had nothing to do with French neocolonialism. It was all about one-party rule.
One leader, one party state, had metamorphosed in Korea, North Korea, from father to son.
Based?
And all along, and unnoticed by many people...
Did you guys see the video of North Koreans watching a live K-pop performance in North Korea, and they were all just so disgusted by it? And it made me think, I'm like, imagine if I lived in a country where we never had any of that annoying music at the mall forced on us, and how happier we would be. And that's them. They literally don't have to... Someone give me the link. Can I watch it here? Is it on YouTube? North Korean K-pop. K-pop, is this the one? I think this is the one. K-pop reaction. This is the one. And North Koreans react to K-pop. Look at this. Check this out. Like, they think they're so cool and stylish, and this is so hip, and oh my god, they are breaking the internet and shit. This is so... Imagine if you lived in a society where you just never had this shit forced on you. You never had these annoying music ever, and you just actually like lived in a society where it's like you had good, substantive, tasteful music. And then this just gets... Listen, we have Stockholm Syndrome, so we are big fans of this music because, like, we just have this idea, like, this is our only salvation. We need this music. They don't... When they are free from it, they're disgusted by it because they realize, no, we don't need this. We don't need this. Why would we ever want this? Why would they ever want it if they never were forced to have it? You know what I mean? Yeah, human reacts to first time seeing musical manifestations of Satan. They're like, what the... I need people to realize, dude, the music that's popular in North Korea is not because the government forces it on them. It's like, that's actually what they want. It's actually popular because it's what they want. Isn't your favorite genre of music pop? Yeah, but it's not this like K-pop shit. Like, you know the song that I always... All the songs I play probably are popular among communists. You know that song? I didn't even know it was. What's that song? Louie Louie that I liked? Turns out, I didn't even know this. It was like the most popular song in the Eastern Bloc. Still is Brother Louie, yeah. It's still popular in the fucking ex-communist states. And I just liked it. I just liked how it sung. You know what I mean? But this is just soulless music. It's soulless, commercialized soul. It's just music devoid of substance and soul. It's just this commercialized shit. And if you're not living in a society where you're forced that, you're not gonna want it when you see it. I've never related to this shit more in my life. I've never related to these reactions more in my life. I'm like, dude, this is literally how... I'm envious of them because it's like, guys, you realize I can't... I go to the gym and I'm listening to this garbage. You know what I mean? And they live in a society. They don't have to listen to garbage. Deep down, none of us want to listen to this garbage. We just do it because we feel like it's like Stockholm Syndrome. Like it's a way we cope with the pain of our society. You know what I mean? We don't want that shit, dude. I promise we don't really want it. In the inner soul, in the core of our being, we don't want that music. Don't they feel embarrassed like this music? The fucking music, and like, can you please explain why that's cool? Like, imagine asking someone to explain why that's cool. They'd be like, I don't know, everyone else likes it, and yeah, it's good. No, you can't fucking justify that shit. You can't justify that. That's embarrassing. You literally went to an entire other country and tried to get away with. Why does anyone like that? Why does anyone like that? Do you even know why you like that? You don't. You're just going with the flow of society. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do? Like, what do you think you're doing in terms of, like, aesthetically? Like, you really think you did something there, huh? With that fucking... I think it's so cool doing that dumb shit. It's not. You know what I mean? And... like, you may get away with that in a commercialized society where people were over... Look, we overlook so... You guys ever notice how much we overlook? You want to know why? Watch TV from 30 years ago and you'll see how much we overlooked. It's just fundamentally cringe shit that everyone was too afraid to call it cringe. We all watched TV. We watched these shows and listened to this music that was literally cringe as fuck from like the 2002 or whatever. And everyone was so intimidated by it that everyone was too scared to call it out. I'm trying to think of good examples of this. Like, there's so much cringe we overlooked growing up because it was the only fucking thing we had and we just assumed it must be cool in a way we don't know. No, it was cringe, dude. We tolerate it because we think we're the bad ones if we don't like it. Like, fucking, Okay, here's my question. You know what the test of a true totalitarian society is? Here's the test of a true totalitarian society. I'm going to tell you what. Can anyone get your culture outside of your society? Like, let's say you show this music to a traditional society. Are they going to like it? Doesn't look like they like it. But let's say I showed some South Koreans North Korean music. They would like it. They may not love it, but they would at least find it nice and tasteful sounding and good on the ears. You know, there's so many people in Western countries that like North Korean music because it's just good music, right? So how is North Korea the totalitarian one? It seems like you have to be really brainwashed and really raised in a commercialized, hyper-liberal society to find this music tasteful and good. Because when you're not in that type of society, you don't like this shit, you know? The audience isn't disrespectful. Yeah, but you can tell they don't like it. Is there a chance they've been told not to show any enjoyment? No, they would at least smile, dude. They'd at least smile. They actually did like the K-pop show. They just treated it like an opera and waited until the end to clap. No one even smiles when they watched it, dude. Nobody even smiles. There's not even a smile on people's faces. What do you mean they like it? You could tell when people like shit, dude. Like, I see visible signs of disgust on people's faces. That's what I see. Kim is a personal fan of that band. Yeah, clearly he's alone then, because I see disgust on people's faces. She's not even looking at them. She's literally looking at some guy here that... I don't know what's going on with her, but she's distracted, clearly. She looks like disgusted, like, what the fuck is this shit? She looks mildly curious, and she's staring off into a corner. So, you know, this is not an indication. Maybe I'm wrong and I just don't understand the culture, but this doesn't look like they like it to me. I don't know. Yeah, they clap because they're polite, but they just... Look at this guy's... Telling me this guy liked it, dude? I don't think he liked it. I don't think he liked it. They look very disappointed, actually. That's just a textbook example. Yeah, they don't want reunification anymore. Clearly. All right, let's go back to this debate.
Another ideology, a totalitarian ideology, based on race and nation and religion and absolutism, was gathering strength unofficially in many other countries. I mean to say by this, the ideology of jihad, the ideology of holy war.
What? How is it based on race? Why did he say it's based on race? What is he talking about? That's a first. I never heard that before.
Where the one ideology is replaced by the one religion, where the one infallible leader is replaced by the one God, and where only one book is required, and where all of human culture that doesn't conform to this book is to be treated as something to be dynamited or destroyed or profaned. These people wish us ill. Now, what was the response of Western democracies to this? In Rwanda, it was for Madeleine Albright. I'll take them in no particular order. Madeleine Albright, on Mr. Clinton's instructions, vetoed the resolution from the Czech Republic that asked for a mere doubling of the tiny United Nations force in Kigali that might, if it had been beefed up, have at least warned the Rwandan government that its plans were known. It was decided at the United Nations by Kofi Annan in person, the man who received the faxes and warnings from Kigali to let Rwanda go. It wasn't worth fighting for. It took 5 years before it was discovered that the rule of Slobodan Milosevic in Bosnia and the mad idea, in Serbia, and the mad idea that he could make national and international borders conform to ethnic patterns and cleanse those who didn't fit was not compatible with peace in Europe. And after the eviction of Saddam Hussein from Kuwait, it took a further 10, perhaps to 12 years for us to make the elementary discovery that we have to keep on making it seems every generation. Our life, however much we may reserve our own right to criticize it, our way of life, as it's sometimes called, the things that we value in our own society and in our own culture, is not compatible with the existence of totalitarian, aggressive, expansionist dictatorship. I myself am happy with the conclusion that our life and culture are not compatible with this, because I don't think it's desirable that we should collude and collaborate or coexist with aggressive totalitarian dictatorship. And since our special subject this evening is Iraq, I hope I put it in some context to you. I must explain as honestly as I can why it is that I came to the conclusion that a settlement of accounts with Saddam Hussein must be made, and that the Iraqi people must be helped to move into the post-Saddam Hussein era. As I've just said, I'm not a fetishist of the rules of the United Nations or of its...
Dr. Parenti, please.
I agree with Christopher Hitchens that it's not just an incidental thing, the Iraqi policy of the U.S., but I do think that there is contrivance, I do think there is confection, I do think that it's a policy that has been based on lies, as so much of U.S. policy has been predicated on lies. Not just misunderstandings, not just faulty intelligence, not just honest mistakes, but real lies, really going against the evidence when they knew the evidence was contrary to what they wanted to say. And those who find it necessary to lie to us are not worthy of our support, because they are advancing their own interests and not ours. And I think Iraq is a recent case. George Bush, October 2002, quote, "Iraq is reconstituting its nuclear weapons program." That was a lie. He had ample evidence from UN inspectors and everyone else that that just wasn't true. Bush, January 03, Saddam Hussein recently sought significant quantities of uranium from Africa. That was a lie, and he knew it was a lie when he said it. There was no such uranium being sought by Saddam Hussein from Africa. Bush again, Iraq has trained Al-Qaeda in poisonous and deadly gases that could allow the Iraq regime to attack America. Another lie. If anything, the CIA gave a contrary report that...
Am I going on the Royale? Yes. It just depends on when. I don't know. I can go on right now, actually. I think I'm going to wait a little bit because I think they're doing intros and shit. And yeah, I'm going to go on. Don't worry. I'm going on.
Iraq had any kind of substantial connections to Al-Qaeda.
I don't want to go on and wait for intros. You know, I just want to go on and immediately get into the action.
We mustn't forget that genius of strategic planning, that giant among policymakers, Donald Rumsfeld. And he says, "We know where Iraq's weapons of mass destruction are. They're in an area around Tikrit and Baghdad and east, west, south, and north somewhat. Again, no such weapons were found, not in the east, west, south, or north, and not even in the somewhat. Colin Powell, in his shameful Dog and Pony Act before the UN Security Council, February 03. Iraq has a stockpile of between 100 and 500 tons of chemical weapon agents. Not one drop of that massive stockpile was ever found. And what evidence did Powell offer? He put up slides, pictures of trucks parked in front of buildings. And he said, these trucks have it. It's in these trucks. And we all sit there and go, ooh, there's something in those trucks. And then the next slide came up and said, notice 6 hours later, the same building, the trucks are gone. Ooh, the trucks are gone. The trucks had wheels. Ooh, they went somewhere. Oh. The White House claimed that the U.S. is bringing democracy to Iraq, like the claim it's bringing democracy everywhere else. It's a supremacist view upon which U.S. policy is predicated, patronizing of other people, that we must teach these less adept people the blessings of American democracy, that we'll bring them, we'll uplift them from their, in the case of Iraq, from their 5,000 years of civilization, and we will show them how to do things. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in fact, Iraqis brought democracy to themselves in 1958. They had a revolution, a broad-based democratic revolution. They threw out the U.S. and British oil companies. They began a program of social reform, of not-for-profit public ownership. And it was Saddam Hussein, funded and backed by the CIA, who destroyed that revolution, torturing and murdering every progressive, Democrat, communist, constitutionalist, socialist, every reformer, killed them, tortured them, or drove them into exile or drove them underground, with the CIA giving him names and lists. He even destroyed the left wing of his own Ba'athist party. And during those years when he was doing that, that's what I hate about these things. You can't regulate your distance from the amplifier.
Should I just head into the Royale now? What do you guys think?
If you really want to get going, you can step back and shout, but this comes with you. During those years when he was doing most of his torturing and most of his murder, he was Washington's poster boy. And at this point we hear, well, isn't it good that we finally moved against him? Yeah, but there's something hypocritical about supporting a tyrant for over 20 years.
I'm just saying this is 2 hours, but I'll let him finish his argument here. But this is 2 hours, so we can't watch the whole thing.
And even sigging him on Iran. Hitch mentioned the Iraq-Iran aggression. I mean, that was supported by the U.S. Then suddenly declaring him to be a mortal threat to the U.S. and to the world. Never mentioning...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We could save it tomorrow, but we'll finish this part. We'll do another few things, and then...
all the past support you gave to this murderer. Now suddenly he's a tyrant and a danger to us when he gets out of line on oil prices and oil quotas, as in 1990, when he starts committing economic...
The reason I'm saying that is because I'm going to decide when to eat. When I go on the Royale, that's when I'm going to have my protein. So I'm like hungry right now, so that's why.
Nationalism.
I would have my protein now, but if something happens where I'm not able to go on the Royale, I raid in and I can't go on the Royale, I'm just going to go to the gym, and then I'm going to have my protein. But if I go on the Royale, I already went to the gym this morning. See, I skipped Monday. So tomorrow or today, I'm having 2 gym sessions. One in the morning, one at night. So if I can't go on the Royale, I'm just going to go to the gym and have my second gym session. Then I'm going to have my protein. So you see how complicated it is? You see how complicated it is?
And keeps the whole economy, including the oil industry, nationalized.
I know I promised a super long stream today. But... I forgot about the fucking Royale, you know? The Royale always makes it so I have to have a short stream. But tomorrow is gonna be fucking crazy!
Comprador leader who would turn his country into a client state for U.S. global investors, when he proved that he wasn't going to let Iraq be a cow that would be milked by U.S. global investment interests. When he refused to do that, when he started training cadres of Iraqi engineers, when he started developing Iraq in a self-defining his own way, that's when he became a tyrant. And let's look at the White House claim about bringing democracy, or what the media calls U.S.-sponsored elections. The White House never wanted those elections. Brent Scowcroft, who served Bush Sr., let the cat out of the bag in May.
Royale zero content?
2003. Scowcroft said...
I don't know. I like being on the Royales at least once in a while. I wasn't on the last Royale, that's why. That's why I wanted to be on this one, because I wasn't on the last one. If I was on, you know... If I was on the last one, I might have skipped it, but I was not on the Royale. I have not been on the Royales for a very, very long time. And that is a problem.
No, we don't want elections. What if they elect someone we don't like and can't work with? You know, it's wonderful when they speak with such honesty. Every so often, a bit of candor comes out.
Royale is just sex and drug every Royale.
It was the Shia majority. It was Sistani. It was these massive demonstrations they had early last year, that kept demanding these elections. And it was the pressure on Bush and Rumsfeld, even from people within his own party, pressure with asking questions like, what's your exit strategy?
You're on Zerka's stream more than your own? Very true. Very true. Very true. I don't know. I feel like I go on Zerka's because I'll lose my fucking mind streaming alone. Because of all the fucking... I mean, I can stream alone. It's just... It's the amount of people the amount of hater... The political sphere makes me lose my mind. I love going on the Royales because it's such a nice refresher from dealing with political people, right? The political sphere is so fucked up on Twitch and on the internet in general. I'm just... Look at Hassan. I mean, I don't like Hassan, but... It's driving him crazy. It drives me crazy too.
Strategy. What the hell exactly are we doing there?
That's probably why Hassan likes hanging out with the fucking normie giant streamers, because he just wants a break.
What are you going to come up with something? And that's what they came up with. They reluctantly settled on elections to show that they could come up with something. But to now claim that this was our noble mission all along is, again, profoundly misleading. You know, in the old days, they used to give you a glass, a little dignity, you could sip from the glass. Now you got to stand here and swig from the bottle right in front of everyone. Hey, so how am I doing, eh? Salud.
This is the boomer humor.
We also hear the U.S. is fighting Islamic terrorism or Islamic fascists, as Christopher Hitchens calls them, which isn't such a bad term, but some people would have problems with that. But ladies and gentlemen, a full year before September 11, a full year before the attack on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, the Project for a New American Century, a right-wing think tank which was populated by the present players of the Bush administration, published a plan making it clear that the White House intended to take direct military control of the Gulf region, whether or not Saddam Hussein was still in power. So Saddam was not the issue, nor was terrorism the issue, since this plan was put forth before 9/11, well before the much hyped but little done war on terror was declared. You know it's much hyped. I call it little done because almost nothing's been done regarding terrorism. No networks of terrorists have been unearthed by the Bush people. There's been only one court case of a terrorist in the U.S. brought to trial. No defense of our water supply. No defense of our nuclear plants yet that's been put up worthy of the name. Bush's own Secretary of Agriculture in last December, in a moment of honesty, quote, "It's a miracle that the terrorists haven't attacked our food supply, which remains totally vulnerable." He's no longer Secretary of Agriculture. Islamic fascists? Well, yes, indeed they exist. We have Christian fascists right in this country who are calling for jihad.
All right, we're going to continue this tomorrow. We're going to continue this tomorrow. Because, guys, tomorrow, don't worry, we're going to be back. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to have solo content starting tomorrow. I got to go to wedding Saturday. Forgive me. I'm going to come back Saturday and stream late at night, though. My debate on Politically Provoked. But we're going to do the showdown Friday. Trust me, we got more. Infrared week is coming. Okay? Guys, I'm going to be on the Royale for a while. I'm going to be on for hours and hours on the Royale, so don't worry. Why not keep streaming? Let's go on Zerka's chat. Go on Zerka's chat. I'm starving, guys. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Is that a crime? Or are you debating Saturday? A lot of people here are banned. Yeah, I'll tell them to unban you guys sometime. You guys are really banned? That's so fucked up. You guys gotta get unbanned. That's so fucked up. Alright, guys. I'll see you. I'll see you. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Well, I'm gonna still be on. I'm gonna be on the Royale. I'm gonna tell him to do ban amnesties. But just chill in the Discord and watch the Royale. I'm gonna be on the Royale. Chill in the Discord. Discord's better than chat anyway. The Discord's better than the chat anyway. Just have Discord up and have the fucking stream up. And chill there. See you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. We're gonna have a long stream tomorrow. Trust me, I promise. Okay, bye guys. Bye.